Hi, my name is Vero, and this is my grandmother, Maria. My grandmother has lived a rich, complex, difficult, and beautiful life. Unfortunately, I didn't get to learn very much about her life when I was younger because I couldn't speak to my grandmother. She only speaks Spanish, and I only spoke English until my 20s. This means that my grandma, the only grandparent I have ever known, was not accessible to me for most of my life. I missed out on years of stories, jokes, chisme, family history, and connection. And this is because just 2 generations earlier, my parents were physically beaten in school when they were heard speaking Spanish. So they decided it was safer if they didn't teach it to me. As a result, I didn't grow up speaking Spanish and struggled for years to learn the language. Studying the Spanish language was more than just conjugation and grammar. It intersected with my identity, historical traumas, and relationship with my family. This was always ignored in my Spanish classes. When I had my firstborn, I knew connection was critical to his bilingualism. He carried it in his bones, but for generations, families like his, other immigrant and indigenous communities were made to feel like outsiders, less than, and unsafe because of their language and culture. It's no surprise then that despite our rich diversity, only 20% of Americans can converse in 2 or more languages compared to nearly 50% of the world. What we are doing with language learning in the US is not working. What we are doing now is blind to at best and hostile to at worst the nearly 350 spoken languages in our country. It is time for a radically different approach to bilingualism, an approach grounded in the science of learning and developed by those with firsthand experience with language loss and preservation. BILI is an app for young children with bilingualism in their bones. Starting in Spanish and then growing to other heritage languages, BILI is bilingualism like you've never seen it before. It focuses on the core of bilingualism, connection. Through identity-affirming content and characters, play-based learning, a focus on language production, and social interaction, BILI helps your children and students develop a sense of connection to their heritage language. Unlike traditional language learning apps, BILI goes beyond culturally agnostic characters and animals to celebrate, cultivate, and honor linguistic legacies. My years as a student, an educator, a mother, and a researcher with a doctoral degree from Harvard has taught me that connection is at the heart of language learning, and all learning, really. Though lost in my generation, through a relentless focus on connection, my children were able to reclaim and speak to my grandmother in her heart language, Spanish. Many of us know that losing a piece of our culture or language is like losing a piece of ourselves, our family, our history. Let's provide a different path forward for the next generation. If you are ready to center connection and build a future where bilingualism is a superpower, join us in making this app a reality. We have the research-based content ready to go from our team of experts in language preservation, child development, and bilingualism. But to build and grow this app, we need a world-class app design house, culturally responsive coders, illustrators, and native voice actors. Over time, we hope to bring in experts in other languages and cultures. We can only do all of that with your help. Please join us in creating solutions by us and for us by supporting our campaign today.